Welcome back to another episode of Private Parts with me, Tom Lucy.
And me, Liv Bentley.
This is the podcast where nothing is off limits. And wow, Bentley is back.
Have I been missed?
Wow. Have you been missed? Yeah, I would say so.
And who has replaced me while I've been away?
Just an absolute sort of a smorgasbord of schmucks have been in this room. No, we've had some nice guests come in, but it's nice to have Bentley back. You look very tanned and well.
Really?
Yeah, I suppose a month in South Africa, though, you should be quite tanned.
You say this, but I'll be honest, it was one of those holidays that I feel like I need a holiday from.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think you're going to get much sympathy
I'm not going to get any sympathy
from our listeners.
No, I sound like a brat saying that. No, it was amazing.
While you were working the fields, you were out there. I cannot believe that you went on holiday for a month with your family.
I now understand why people don't often do that.
No.
If I'm totally honest.
So explain to you, were you with your family for a month?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a lot. I would do like 3 nights and then I would start getting a bit angsty and I'd have to leave.
But I didn't realise, I don't think most people actually go on holiday with their families for a long period of time.
No, they don't.
But I think my situation is different because my parents have moved there. It was like the first time we were all going to this like our new home kind of thing.
Okay.
So we were all there for quite a substantial amount of time.
Right, okay.
Too much time.
So your parents have stayed there and you've all come back?
Yeah, they're still there.
Wow, okay.
I think my last sister, one of my sisters, the last one was flew home today.
Okay.
So it's been staggered.
Wow. Okay. And how was it? Was it fun?
It was amazing. Like the house is incredible.
You said that there was a bit of family tension, but I guess there would be on a month-long holiday.
More than a bit. No.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's from being on holiday. That's just Christmas generally, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like way too much forced family time.
There's a lot of forced family time.
But luckily, because we're in Cape Town, obviously the weather's amazing, so it's not like we're stuck in a house in the pissing rain.
No, I know. And Rory came out?
Rory came out, all the boyfriends came out.
Also, there was an Instagram post. I don't know if people caught that.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
Instagram debut.
Stephen.
Pretty exciting.
I love that people still call him Stephen.
Pretty fucking exciting.
no, everyone
nice to
commented-
put a face to the name.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I posted him before.
You haven't done a proper post, have you?
No, I sort of vaguely trying to keep that private.
Was that a big decision to post a photo together?
I always do it after a couple drinks.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I thought you might be
It is a weird
pissed.
thing though, because I don't know why actually. I've kept it more private.
He's happy to be like posted on Instagram.
Yeah, but because he doesn't have Instagram, he doesn't really, and he's a very private person, so he doesn't really like it.
I was quite enjoying the fact that no one really knew anything about him or what he looked like.
I think
or
it's
anything.
quite, for me, I actually quite like it. Having had those relationships on Made in Chance where everyone knows everything, it's quite nice having someone who,
off the grid.
yeah, and also because he doesn't do social media, he doesn't really, has no involvement in that life.
And how did he get on with the Bentley family?
He got on well.
Was he there for Christmas?
No, he came after Christmas.
Okay.
He got
New
on
Year?
well. He was there for New Year's.
How
We
was that?
actually had a very tame New Year's.
Did you?
Half of I'll just call it my lot. Half my family all went out, as in all my siblings and their boyfriends. But Rory and I stayed at home with my parents and just got pissed. It was so
Nice.
nice. I hate New Year's normally. I think
Yeah.
it's so overrated. Everyone plans these ridiculous, expensive nights out.
Yeah.
And they end up always being so like anticlimactic. But no, we had a really nice time. It was amazing.
That's great. That's very good.
I'd like to
That's
go back.
nice. Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
Nice.
So yeah.
Did your siblings have their partners out there as well?
So all my siblings are in relationships apart from one. So all the boyfriends came out.
Wow. God,
So it was
it's like a reality show.
Yeah,
isn't
it's quite mad. There's a lot of us. So it's like 12 of us there.
Any dramas?
There's always a few.
Couple of dramas.
Couple of dramas.
Has there been a sort of
There-
a rift? Can we say that?
There's been a rift. When do siblings grow out of arguing?
I
Or
don't
does it
think
just
that ever
never happen?
happens.
It doesn't,
I
does
don't
it?
think that ever happens. Also, a weird thing happens where you like, when all of your siblings are with your parents, you just revert back to being like
Children, again.
Yeah.
Can everyone bring your laundry down? Like, what?
Yeah, it does turn into that quite quickly,
And
doesn't it?
my family are very good. They do this thing whenever we've got like boyfriends there, they use them as workers. So next thing you know, Rory's in the garden with a fucking blur at 8 a.m. and he thinks, I'm here on holiday. What the fuck am I doing?
That's what whenever I go and visit Olivia's mum, I always end up, she's like, oh,
Moving something.
There's that, I need to move the garden table into the house. And I end up like doing all these jobs that she's been putting
That's
off.
literally what happens. Rory's always like, I don't know if I can go down there. I need a weekend off, not like to be down there
I was
working.
painting the conservatory the last time. So I'm not meant to be here to have a nice weekend.
Parents have no shame. Do you think we'll be like that?
When we have children.
When we have children, get them down there and do all the work.
I think you have to, don't you? Yeah. I think it's more tense as the boyfriend entering the family.
Yeah, because you also have to do it.
Because if a girlfriend enters a family, everyone's quite sweet and nice. But when a boyfriend enters, there's there's a slight tension of like you got to prove yourself.
Yeah, because you've got to look after my daughter.
Before we decide that we like you, we need to see you be nice a few times.
Well, my dad's only rule with Cape Town was that people could only come and stay if they brought him a carton of cigarettes, because they don't sell his cigarettes in Cape Town. They only sell them in London.
Really?
Yeah. So he was like, if there's no brick, they're not coming in.
That's great. So your dad just sort of chain smoking in Cape
Chuffing
Town.
away, yeah, ordering everyone about.
Love that.
That's great.
Okay, great. So you're back now.
Back now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the plan now? Are you doing any New Year's resolutions or not?
Oh, I can't. No, I'm not. I'm doing dry January, but only because I started when I landed. So that was 5 days ago.
Okay, yeah,
So
doing
5
end
days
of dry
left.
January.
Yeah, end of dry January.
Yeah.
No, I think that all of that is a load of rubbish as well. That's the difference. Actually, last time I went to Cape Town, obviously it was like rehab. It was a lot more wholesome. This time around, it was a lot more party vibes. But no, New Year's resolutions. Oh, I actually did come up with one. I can't remember what it was. Something. Oh, to be more assertive.
Well, that's a good one. To be
Yeah.
more assertive. Do you feel like you're not very confrontational?
No, I'm not competition. I'm bad at making decisions.
Yeah.
Like if someone says, what do you want to do? Or like
Yeah.
silly things like that. I'm not very good at, yeah.
Making decisions.
Yeah. Or like, if you really can't be bothered to do something, just say, no, I don't want to do that, rather than going, yeah, we can do.
Someone said that to me the other day. They were like, when somebody asks you to do something, you should think in your head, if we were doing this tonight, would I say yes?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, then then don't say no to it, because it's quite easy when someone says, do you want to do this? And it's like a month away. You just go, yeah, okay. And then it arrives.
And then you're like, I can't
Then
think
you're
of
trying to
anything
panic
worse.
about how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, that should be a lot of people's New Year's resolution, though, is not to bail on things. Like if you agree to something, you have to actually do it. Because
Yeah.
I've noticed people have become very...
Flaky.
They're so last minute about shit. I noticed it actually when I did my Jomo launch. Everyone goes, yes, 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 expecting 60 people. 10 fuckers showed up to buy my dildos.
Is that the one that you didn't invite us to?
You were all invited and none of you showed up.
You didn't invite us, I don't think.
It's in the group. I did.
Did you send the invite into
I
the
did.
group?
Not that you probably read the group.
I think you probably should have sent a reminder, because you sent it quite a few weeks before.
Excuses. That's just an excuse. You could come to the next one.
I'll come to the next one.
No, did I not tell you about my dad wanted me to do a vibrator that squirts out lube? And I was
What?
like, yeah. He's very, that's the other thing as well. Family time, it becomes sort of very intense, not just with boyfriends, but for you as well. They talk about your careers, what's going
Yeah.
on, and the involvement.
Does your dad like grill you on things when you sit down as a family? Will he like grill you about finances and careers
yeah.
and things like that?
Yeah.
My dad's like that. Yeah, it's quite hard to have like a calm conversation.
And also
with
in
him.
January, it's like the last time, or like January and December's the last time you want to be talking about your year ahead.
No, yeah, everyone's plans for Q1.
Yeah.
How is he with Rory? Is he quite
Really good
Do
with
they get
Rory.
on well?
Yeah, they do. Rory's so easygoing, so he does get on with everyone.
That's great.
Got on with all the other boyfriends. Yeah, it was really nice actually.
How's your brother? Ed?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I'm trying to think. Out all the time partying when he was there, but
Yeah.
no, he's really good. Everyone was a good form.
My parents are on holiday at the moment, and they are just flooding our family WhatsApp group with photos of beaches and cocktails and sunsets. And I'm sort of running out of things to say.
Just like the message.
I just don't know I don't know how to like keep reacting in like a positive. Because
Are you pretending to be invested in their time
Yeah, but
away?
also I know that if I ignore the messages, then there'll be an issue with, why are you ignoring our messages? So it's like I have to react to them, but I'm also just don't have any more words to say, wow, incredible,
that 28
amazing.
photo album of...
Wow, so jealous. Wow, I wish I was there. I don't have any more of those things to say.
That's quite sweet. They're just away together. Do they do that a lot?
They're going away a lot at the moment.
Did
which
you not
is
get the invite?
concerning, because they're smashing through that inheritance.
Yeah, I feel the same.
I'm like, guys, slow down, please.
He's up on that.
Do we need 4 weeks? Can we just do 1 week?
Do you need a fucking house in Cape
No,
Town?
there's
Probably not.
there's a weird thing that happens with parents where, like, when they get older, maybe not your parents sound a bit more chilled, but they sort of, I think they worry that their kids sort of don't care about them anymore. So I feel like my parents' biggest issue with me and my sister is if we don't call them or if we don't text them.
Really?
Yeah, they hate that.
No, I think my parents are a bit like that. My mum gets upset when I don't respond on group chats,
Yeah.
but I can't stand group chats.
Yeah. My sister once got so angry she left our family group chat.
Oh, we have that.
and
It's
then,
like
and then had to ask my dad to
To
re-add
back
her to
in.
the group because he's the admin.
I think it's like the tech version of slamming a door.
It is, yeah.
But
it's
it's
so
just
it's so petty, and then a day later you have to come crawling back.
It's actually worse being re-invited to the group.
Yeah.
Group chats really bum me out, and I fucking can't stand when people put me in group chats with 60 other people, like 60 randoms. I think it's too much.
Where do you stand on if there's like an event happening and they set up a group chat for the
No,
event?
I just find it irritating.
Yeah.
I've got more relevant group chats on that phone than you could imagine. Like just random group chats.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. I spend my life leaving them.
I went on a sort of, I guess you'd call it like a stag weekend. It wasn't a proper one, but it was about 3 years ago, and there was a group chat for that weekend with like 12 blokes. And there's one guy who's still
Using
messaging the group.
Why is there always one person who
no
does
one's
that?
replying to that. He's just like sending memes into the group and like funny messages. And we're like, man, you got to let this go. It was 3 years ago. You got to let this go. I'm also weirdly part of this group chat of like, one of them will probably be listening to this. So I've got to be careful. But where I used to live, there's a pub. And there's a group chat of like men who live near this pub. And it's meant to be that whenever they go to the pub, they message the chat and other people come. But it's a really strange mix of like middle-aged men, some divorced men.
And it's just men.
There's one guy who's great who like is a sort of 58-year-old man, lives in Notting Hill with his family. And he will say to his wife he's taking the dog for a walk, and he'll just go to the pub for 2 hours with the dog. And then he'll come back with the dog, and his wife's like, okay, all right, you just come back pissed every time you walk the dog. So I'm part of that group, but...
And do you go and get pissed with the corgi?
Sometimes, yeah. I don't take the corgi, but sometimes I'll go.
That's just made me think of one of my neighbours who I always see, who I can't work out.
How are your neighbours? You live on a
My
weird
neighbours
street, don't you?
My neighbours are great.
Yeah.
But no, there's a man who walks his dog, and I don't know if his wife doesn't know he smokes, but he's always putting latex gloves on when
Yeah.
he's smoking a ciggy. And it's always late at night. And I don't know
His
why.
wife
There's something.
definitely... He's either murdering women or his wife doesn't know.
yeah.
There's something weird going on.
But there's something off about the people who fill their car up with petrol and wear the gloves. It's unnecessary.
Yeah,
it's an ick.
It's
It's
an
an
ick.
ick. Actually, Eddie said something funny the other day. He
What,
goes,
men who have like gloves for filling up petrol?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an
or
ick.
like driving gloves. Like,
Yeah.
what are you, Sherlock Holmes?
Olivia said a weird thing to me the other day about driving. She said that like we drove somewhere and then I had to park, and I put my arm over her seat and turned around to look where I was parking. And she said that she was like, I don't know what it is about that, but I find that really sexy when men do that.
Oh, I thought you were about to say the opposite.
No, she said when you put your arm around that and you look back to see where you're parking and you reverse park a car.
Yeah, I think there
like,
there
why?
is something odd about that. If guys can drive with one hand, I don't know what the hell it is.
What is it?
Is there something? Is it manly? I don't know,
drive
because
with
most
one
people can
hand?
drive a fucking car, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
you crash, yeah. What, driving with one hand?
or like just being quite
Doing that
smooth
thing with the
your
car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is something quite good about that. I suppose.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. What? No, my neighbour's really sweet. What happened?
How's your trombone guy?
He's still blowing hard.
Nice.
And then I've got another neighbour who's a builder, thank God, because my fucking curtains fell off the wall, which is great. Yeah, my neighbours are all good.
What about the who is it? The like musician guy, the songwriter?
Yeah, I saw him yesterday morning. It's just a very happy, nice street.
It is a nice street, isn't it, that you live on? Are you gonna
The only problem is the people smashing in the fucking cars.
Well, look, on the subject of family holidays,
Yeah.
you're 30, I'm 28. What age do you think the family?
Should stop.
I don't know. Maybe it never stops. Maybe it's quite nice that it never stops. But
But I think well, it depends, I suppose, how many siblings you've got. Because what
Yeah.
I actually think would be nicer is if Rory and I, or like we started going away with my parents, but as couples rather than as siblings, and then do it that way. Because I think it's like, I mean, yeah, it's intense. It is a lot.
yeah, especially in a situation like that where you're sort of like you're living in their house, so like you can't really do what you want. You know what I mean? At least if you're in a hotel, you and Rory can like go off and do what you want all the time. I don't know. I'd be intrigued to know what people think about what age family holidays. I don't know if they stop or they just change. I don't know. I feel like my parents are quite keen for us to go on holiday with them this year, and
I suppose if they're paying for it, then great.
yeah, but they won't pay for it. That's the
well,
problem.
my parents obviously. I mean, we've got the house, but like, yeah.
They won't pay for all of it. So it's like, do I want to spend a holiday? Would I rather not just go away with her or with friends? I don't know. It's a weird one. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But
It is odd, actually, the older you get.
I don't know. Well, I guess if
I mean, we still get stockings from Santa. Obviously not from Santa, I know that. But like, you know, my older sister's 32. It's a bit... We had to draw the line at the family Christmas card. Thank God that stopped.
What, the naked Christmas
No,
card?
there was not naked. We used to do it, honestly, my parents in the middle of summer would go, everyone get in your black tie dresses. We're doing the Christmas card.
Oh, God, that's so funny.
Very American.
I've got to go to a black tie event tonight and I'm dreading it.
I love black tie
Do you?
events. Yeah, I don't think as a like, I don't know, it's rare other than like the Brit Awards or stuff like that. But how often do you actually dress up to go to anything?
I suppose what I quite like about it is that there's no decision to be made. You know what you're wearing.
For you,
yeah.
for girls, it's
for
a
girls,
fucking
it's different.
nightmare.
Yeah, it's different.
Like guys have it so easy with all this stuff. For girls, it is always hard.
It's quite easy as a man to get it. You just have to do what you're told and then it's fine. But girls, yeah, you're right. It is more difficult.
Because, like, say it's like a black tie thing, but for someone who's like, say it's their 60th, you've got to wear something slightly more appropriate.
Something slutty. Oh, no. Yeah.
Depends who's 60th. But if it's a young person, then, you know,
Yeah.
legs, lips, and tits. You're surprised to Iceland. So, wait, hang on. I want to know, when did you actually tell her that it was Iceland?
At the airport.
Did she pack correctly?
I told her that we were going somewhere cold. So she packed cold clothes.
Okay.
But then I don't know. I feel I suspect she probably guessed where we were going before, because I don't know. I feel like if you're told that you're going somewhere cold and then it's only 2 hours away from London, there aren't that many options. So I suspect she probably
You
guessed.
said it's cold and 2 hours from London.
Yeah.
Could be a fucking anywhere.
It could have been Newcastle,
It could
really,
be
couldn't
Scotland,
it?
like flying up there.
No, it was great. We went to Iceland.
What did you do? Did you do the Blue Lagoon thing?
Did the Blue Lagoon? Yeah. Did that.
Well, I always see these videos of people going underwater and then going, don't go underwater with your hair. What is all that about?
Yeah, someone said that to Olivia. They were like,
Because it stays in your hair for like ages or
yeah,
something
this girl told her to tie her hair up because she said if the like sulfur in the water makes your hair fall out.
Oh,
So
the last place you'll find me.
that didn't happen. Yeah, it was great. It was fun. Yeah,
Romantic?
it was romantic. Have you been to Iceland?
No, I want to
It's
go.
really cool.
I always see on Instagram the glass igloos, and everyone
Yeah.
looking at like the Northern Lights and bollocks.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
bollocks, sorry, but as in like it looks nice.
Yeah, we didn't see the Northern Lights. The food was great. The food is really good. We ate whale.
Jesus.
And,
what do you mean?
Like a
Like
whale.
raw?
Yeah, like a slice of whale. You know, beef carpaccio. You know, like
Yeah.
raw slices of beef. They have that, but with whale.
I don't know
It was
if I
quite
could
nice.
eat that.
Yeah, we ended up having to drive to the Blue Lagoon because a volcano went off. So all of the main roads to the Blue Lagoon were blocked with lava, like active lava.
Did you see any of it?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't see the lava, but there was a chance that we weren't going to be able to go, and I was like, "This is kind of the whole reason we're here."
Shame.
So
on that volcano.
we hired a car and we drove around a volcano to get there.
What are you like driving abroad?
I'm all right.
Really?
I'm
You
quite-
strike me as someone slightly nervous driving abroad. Weirdly, I am.
You have such little faith in me.
No, I don't have little faith in you. I don't know.
What, driving abroad?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at driving abroad.
I'm a really good driver, but not abroad. I don't know what it is. I hate it. It makes
Why?
me nervous.
Because you're on the wrong side of the road.
I once smacked into this poor German couple in Ibiza. We were filming for Made in Chelsea, and I was.
You killed a German couple while you were drink driving in
That's not
Ibiza.
shocking, no.
Is this a story for the podcast or
I
for the
don't- well,
authorities?
it was a private thing, but
Yeah.
no, I was
It
busy.
was settled out of court.
I was busy lighting a cigarette, and I smacked their bumper. Anyway, ever since then, it's sort of made me nervous driving.
Yeah.
Abroad, I don't
I'm
know
not.
why.
I would be more nervous to get in a car with you abroad, to be honest.
Oh yeah, actually, that's probably.
I've been in your car. You are quite a
I
safe
am a
driver.
good driver.
When it's not being smashed in by people in balaclavas.
Or people on, unless I see a
I
cyclist.
saw a Range Rover get nicked the other day in Soho by a couple of guys on mopeds
in broad daylight, I
Yeah.
can imagine.
with balaclavas, just smashed one of the side windows. and-
People have become so brazen. Like, what the fuck's going on?
You said you thought South Africa felt safer than London.
Honestly, it did. Although in saying that, my poor sister's phone was stolen straight out of her hand like 3 days in. But no, it weirdly did feel safer.
Mm.
Honestly, waking up here every morning having to check that my fucking car is still there, it's just irritating. Like, it's just...
You do have the worst car though for
can I
being
be honest?
stolen.
My car is an old banger. It's not like a new Range Rover. It's like... It's an old
Still a Range
shitbox,
Rover,
if
though,
I'm
isn't it?
honest.
They're
but
the
there's-
number one most stolen cars.
Not with the year this fucker came out. Like,
I think they'd still take it.
well, I don't know what they'd get for it. But no, I know it's, yeah.
Why do people steal Range Rovers so much?
I think they're probably quite easy to steal. I don't know.
Easy to sell.
Yeah.
Why don't you change cars?
I might. I could start riding a fucking bicycle.
Yeah, get into
Let's
bicycles.
not be stupid. I'm never going to ride a bicycle, am I?
Why don't you get a little pink Fiat 500?
And smoke out
Why don't
the
you get a
rooftop.
Jomo one? You could put like a company car with like branding on the sides.
A Mini.
Yeah, a Mini with
Like
like
those
Jomo
do you remember
stickers
those
all
Red
over
Bull cars? I didn't
Red
know.
Bull cars,
Have you seen
yeah.
those cars with the Red Bull on? I didn't know you can just go and take. There's Red Bull. They're full of Red Bull, and you can just go take one if you see it. I saw a video.
It's like a
I sound
mini-
like I've been on my phone way too much, but I've seen these videos of people going, yeah, you can just go and
it.
take
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's like a Mini with a fake
Yeah.
Red Bull can on the top.
What? Get a giant Mojo, the vibrator on top of a car.
Yeah, you could get a big fake dildo on the top of the car. Be great, and you just bowl around Fulham. Everyone's like, there's Liv Bentley.
There's that old Bentley.
I think the sort of urban myth that you're from the Bentley dynasty.
I know.
That's not true, is it?
No, I wish I was.
would be good if you
I'd
were.
love a Bentley. That'd probably get
Sure
nicked
you
as
would.
well.
Bentley Continental.
Yeah.
That would get nicked
That
if you
would get
parked it on your
stolen.
road. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why you would buy a car like a Bentley and park it on a London street. Like, I would not be able to sort of like sleep if I knew I had like a
But the problem-
300 grand car parked on a London
Well,
street.
yeah.
Even if someone, not even being stolen, but someone just running a key down the side
Something
of it.
that I've realised that I find really fucking irritating is people who buy really expensive cars and then drive them, firstly, really slowly, and secondly, like they're driving a fucking tractor. Like, you know, people in Ferraris and they leave like they need like a meter either side. They're
Yeah.
too precious with them.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Like,
Yeah,
if
but
you
if you
buy a
had a-
fast car, drive it fucking fast.
Yeah, okay. A couple of issues with that. If you're driving around London, where can you drive really fast?
There aren't many speed cameras in London itself. There's the odd zebra crossing, just be careful of those. But other than that, you can
You
go
and
on
your
it.
fucking German couple. In
That was in
I
a
don't think
video,
we
it's
should be
different.
taking driving
But
advice
do you
from
know
you.
what I mean? People who buy ridiculous cars and they're so precious with them.
Yeah, but if you'd spent like 150 grand on a car, you would be a bit nervous about it, wouldn't you?
Insurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, I
suppose.
do get it, but then it's like, I don't know. I think I get so bored of people who don't know how to reverse their fucking cars.
Yeah.
And around like Fulham and stuff, only one car is acceptable. It tends to be women in Range Rovers, to be honest with you.
You know when men buy sports cars to like presumably try and impress girls,
Yeah.
does that work? Like if you see a man like let's say like a 6 out of 10 attractiveness man, and then he walks up and gets into like a Ferrari, does that in your head make him go up to an 8 or a 9, or is he the same? Do you not really give a fuck about?
I'll be honest, I'm not bothered. I'm not really bothered about cars, but what I would imagine girls find attractive is that he's obviously got money.
Yeah, it's just a
That's
symbol
what-
of money.
yeah, it's
but
not
is it
necessarily
though? Because like it's the same as like I don't know.
Well,
like
this-
if I see a man wearing like a Gucci hoodie, I don't think he's loaded. He's got a Gucci
What is
hoodie.
it?
I think he might have no money. He's just bought a Gucci.
No, but what's
hoodie.
that expression? Cash rich.
Asset poor.
Yeah, is probably what it
Yeah.
it means. But no, I actually, if I'm totally honest, find it a bit naff, the flashiness of things. I think to be slightly more understated.
People who like rev car engines on high streets.
I just think you cunt.
Yeah.
Honestly, it winds me up.
I'm happy you said that.
When my brother was younger, my mum.
Is he one of those people?
He's one of those people. No, when my brother was like in a car seat age, my
Yeah.
mum used to have to drag him to IKEA all the time. I don't know why they use it. Anyway, Eddie, my mum would hate people in Ferraris, and she'd go, "Oh yeah, you've got a big dick," is what she'd say.
Yeah.
So Eddie would pick it up and he'd go, "Mum, does that mean he's got a big willy?" That's what he used to say all the time whenever he'd hear an engine. But no, I think it's rather tragic.
Yeah.
And actually, I hate when people rev their fucking cars. It really
Yeah.
winds. It makes me angry.
It does. Sometimes I drive past houses like when you like drive out of London on those like dual carriageways, and there's
Yeah.
houses along the side of the dual carriageway. Firstly, I don't know how all those people are like getting in and out of their driveway. You know, when they live on like the side of the A40 and it's like a 60-mile-an-hour road. I don't know how they're getting out of their house. But sometimes you see like one of those houses and they've got like a brand new Range Rover parked outside.
Yeah.
I'm like, spend the money on living somewhere nicer.
It's interesting what people would. I don't know, but do you
It's like
think?
they drive the Range Rover into
But is
the...
it a mental thing? Like you think, okay, if I can, I don't know, I can't work it out. Maybe it's a way of like proving.
I think it's a culture thing, isn't it? Like in Germany, everyone lives in rented houses, but they spend loads of money on their cars for some reason. They care way more about their cars than their house.
Really?
I don't know why. They just that's
I
like
suppose that's probably what's seen, I suppose, more. I mean, to be honest, I have a Range Rover because I used to drive long journeys. They're fucking comfortable to drive. I lease it for 400 quid and it's cheap.
On the lines of that, we actually have a new segment, I think, Liv, on unpopular opinions.
I like this.
You like this?
Yeah, I want to hear other people's unpopular opinions because we moan quite a lot about things, and I wonder if we're unique to that or if people actually agree.
You just said a good one about people getting their feet out on flights.
Oh, what that? I just think feet generally.
People taking their taking your shoes off is fine. Taking your socks off.
Well, I have this awful problem.
Is it athlete's foot?
Gross. No. Although I'd like to say some member of my family found themselves with a verruca over Christmas, which really upset a lot of people.
Wow.
No, what was I going to say? Oh no, I get really swollen feet when I fly. So if I take my shoes off, fuck me getting them back on tonight.
Massive feet.
I'm not joking. My sisters all can't wait till I'm pregnant and they'll think they're enormous.
I don't think there's ever a time when I want to see a man's foot. Like, I don't think there's ever.
But why is
okay.
it? But it's true that a woman's foot is a kind of all right,
because
but
women's feet
foot.
are quite dainty and like you look after your toenails and men. I don't ever want to see a man's foot. Really.
I think we should normalise men going for pedicures. I think it should actually be a thing.
I went for one once and I had a great time.
May I just say, I don't think men really know how to... Your version of clipping your nails is very different to what actually cutting your nails are. Like, guys just chop along the top straight and it's just a bit,
So how do you suggest we do it instead?
Get a nail file, perhaps, to round those edges.
Come on, a nail file?
Or get someone to do it for you. But I think...
If you were dating a man and you walked in and he was filing his nails...
I mean, I wouldn't want to watch him do it, but I'd like to know that he's done it. That is the worst. Dirt under nails.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I agree with that.
But weirdly, that's worse on a girl than it is on a guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what, like...
No, but I tell you what that is, because I was talking to someone about this the other day. They said that men have to like look after themselves, but you can't
There's
be
a
like
fine line.
too groomed.
Yeah,
if you're
because
too
then
groomed,
it seems odd.
Then you seem a bit vain or a bit self-obsessed. So I think you have to like be hygienic, but not like care too much.
But then it's kind of the same with women, because if women are they're classed as high maintenance.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
really.
I don't think women can ever be too like, I don't know what the word is, but like.
No, but I think that is, because I think guys don't like the high maintenance thing. They find it off-putting. Like there needs to be like a line of where you draw it, not like having everything done all the time.
Yeah. But we both know straight men, who like will go and get their eyebrows plucked and like manicures, pedicures, spray tans, and it's like it's not attractive.
No,
it's too much.
But then if you don't have like a girlfriend or like a partner who advises you on things to do, and you're like a single guy but you want to look good because you're single, like how you would go somewhere to do it, wouldn't you?
If you don't have a woman's opinion being like, maybe don't do that. Yeah, it's difficult. I don't know.
Have you heard of Tan Lux?
Yeah.
So those little drops?
Yeah. I got given that once for Christmas.
I put it in Rory's thing, basically. Anyway, woke up in the morning and it's fucking orange hands. Went ballistic. We went through this weird phase where he would wake up and he goes, I can smell like salami.
Yeah.
And I thought, sorry. And he thought I was like sneaking down into the kitchen, tucking into a bit of meat.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've discovered it's the fucking Tan Lux. It's my face that smells like sausage.
I had that literally last night.
But I don't think it smells like sausage. I think it smells like biscuits.
Because we're going to this fucking black tie thing tonight.
Listen, you need to change your attitude.
So Olivia last night was like fake tanning her entire body, then gets into bed and she's like sticky and like stinks. And I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
It's so
she's like
hot.
This like sticky, like biscuity.
Yeah, it's a lot. The bed sheets are red afterwards.
Honestly, yeah.
See, the thing is though, would you rather then she just didn't have any fake tan on at all?
No, the problem is that I do like the results of it. It does look great, but it's just the process is quite. I draw the line at like one time I got encouraged by a friend of mine to buy like tinted moisturizer.
Yeah,
because he was like, oh, it just makes you look healthier. And I don't know why. I just got like I'm not great with peer pressure. I just got persuaded to buy it. I used it a couple of times and I was like, I'm gonna draw the line at tinted moisturizer Because it's just awkward when people like notice that you're wearing it.
Yeah, but it's a bit. But then it's like guys who wear makeup.
Yeah,
that's
A
common.
lot of people wear makeup.
They do.
If you went on a date, I know if you were single and you went on a date and you noticed that the man was wearing either makeup or like tinted moisturiser, would that be an issue?
I don't know if I would notice. Oh yeah, you probably. I'm trying to think if I would notice with tinted moisturiser, because I'm sort of. I know a lot of guys who sunbed, which I think actually does. Sunbeds give you a slightly different look, more similar to a fake tan than when you're actually tanned. Does that make sense? It's slightly oranger, so you can tell. I don't know if if a guy was wearing makeup. I mean, yeah, probably not for me, but I don't know. But yeah,
I don't know. I had to stop the sunbed. I went through like a phase of. Do you remember I was doing a lot of sunbeds and then I sort of fucked because I didn't put those eye things on. Do you remember I had
God, is that why you got the hurt?
I think it might be that why I had pink eye for like a year because of that.
Because of the sunbeds.
And the herpes as
and
well.
herpes. Sunbeds, it makes you a bit. I get nervous that they're not. Well, I don't know. It's properly clean and stuff.
Well, someone we both know
once said to me that he likes to have gives himself a hand job when he's in the sunbed.
Gives himself a hand job.
Well, how would you say it? Oh,
there is a word for it.
Oh yeah, I know because
masturbate is a nicer word.
Masturbate, yeah.
In a sunbed. Do you not have to pull the thing down quite close to you?
Yeah, but you're in a sort of tube. I used to think the word was said masturbate. Not masturbate. But there was a kids show with masturbates, Roger the Cabin Boy, Captain Pugwash. Yeah, it was years ago.
Masturbate.
Masturbates. Yeah, it was one of those. It was like a kids.
Masturbates.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And Roger the Cabin Boy.
Roger the Cabin Boy.
No, I know. I find it really fascinating now. I think is it in Shrek when there's these kids films that have come out and there's all these like weird sexual innuendos, but you only realise it now as an adult watching them back.
They're quite clever, those kids films, because they have like jokes in it for the adults and jokes in it for the children. This has been a real ADHD episode, hasn't it? We've really darted around.
So anyone who's got an unpopular opinion, please send them in.
What's the line between being
where is the line?
Hygienic and being vain? Being groomed and being self-obsessed. What is that line? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Before I met Olivia, I'm happy to say this. Before I met Olivia, I used to like trim my chest hair a bit.
I thought you were talking about something else then. But that's normal, isn't it?
Well, apparently it's not normal.
To trim your chest hair?
Well, I didn't used to like wet shave it, but I would just like trim it a little bit. And then she was like, you don't need to do that.
But it's interesting, isn't it?
But then you don't like chest hair.
No, it's not that yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, I don't like chest hair. But I don't know for what reason. I'll be honest, and I don't know what it is. I think I've got sensitive skin. So like when Rory has a stubble, it hurts my face.
Yeah.
Like it is a bit irritating.
Yeah.
It is. As a girl, it is annoying rubbing up against.
You like hairless men.
Okay, let's not say men.
Completely smooth.
Just my Stephen.
Okay, we'll come back in part 2 with some dilemmas.
But then, sorry, actually, I'm just back on this topic for a minute. A bloke who shaves his legs is a little odd. What if they're more shaven than mine? We're buggered. Like, that's annoying.
Spencer Matthews, I think I've said this before, wet shaves his entire body from the neck down, like with shaving foam.
But is it for him or is it for his wife? Like, do men do it for themselves?
Everything he does is for him, I think.
You're a savage. But actually, thinking about it now, like, I always have to have my nails done. And I think it's like a weird OCD thing. Like, it just annoys me otherwise. But do you think people do it for themselves? Like, it's like, so I read something and it was like, women actually dress a certain way for other women. It's not for guys. It's for other women to go, oh my God, they look really cool.
Yeah, you're right. But it's the same as men, like, working out in the gym.
Do you think?
They're the only people they're impressing are other men.
Yeah, because I don't think
really
women
notice
don't really
or care.
But they don't really give a shit.
They don't even notice. They don't even... like, if a man walks into a room and he's, like, got massive muscles, I genuinely think the only people that notice are other men.
Yeah.
I don't think women even, like... sort of
actually, I don't think it necessarily has good connotations that go with that
as well. It might actually make you look quite vain. And, yeah. But other men are like, oh, that's cool. He's got really big muscles.
Weird, isn't it?
So what's the takeaway there?
Just don't overdo it.
Overdo it.
It's really hard, actually, isn't it? There's sort of find a good balance.
We're going to come back in part 2 with some listener dilemmas. Contact at privatepartspodcast.com, at privatepodcast on everything.
You've lost your touch.
We'll come back in part 2 with some listener dilemmas. I'm going to stop saying don't go anywhere because I feel
in my head I was saying don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to part 2 of Private Parts with me, Tom Lucy.
And me, Liv Bentley.
Olivia Catherine Bentley.
I know, I'm changing my name now from Liv to Olivia.
Olivia, I like Olivia.
Olivia's good.
What's your middle name?
Olivia. My real name.
Catherine Olivia Bentley.
Catherine. Yeah, I'm not sure about Catherine. Yeah, Olivia.
Olivia. Yeah, Olivia's nice. Olivia Bentley.
Olivia.
What, are you going to stop getting people to call you Liv?
So I was Livy, and then I went on to Made in Chelsea, and they were like, we're going to call you Liv. And now I think
You're going to go back
Olivia.
to Olivia? You're going to rebrand?
Yeah.
You're going to have to change your Instagram.
I know. I always.
Olivia Bentley.
I have to put. Because there's a lot of Liv Bentleys, like that sweet sex therapist in Texas.
Yeah.
I always have to put K, because they're all taken. Like Liv Bentley's taken. So I got messages in the beginning from people saying, "Is it because you love ketamine?"
Yeah.
So why on earth would I put K in my name for ketamine?
You just love ketamine.
Love ketamine.
Olivia Ketamine Bentley. Ket Bentley.
Ket Bentley.
Quite a good name. Ket Bentley.
So we get lots of DMs. So we decided part 2 is going to be mainly focused on your dilemmas, and Tom and I are going to try our hardest to solve them with our unique viewpoints. So
with our wisdom. Is that the right word?
Don't listen to exactly what we say, but we'll try.
Yes, take everything with a big pinch of salt. This one is from Highgate Prison.
So, if you've got anything you want us to answer, please keep writing them in and we'll answer them every week.
Yeah. Okay, great. Shall I read the first one?
Yes.
Hey guys, I've recently discovered your podcast after my friend Izzy suggested I have a listen. Thanks, Izzy.
Yeah.
Shout out. We need more people like Izzy. And I genuinely think podcasts are shit. Perfect.
Thanks.
Good.
Especially yours.
That's the spirit. But this one's brilliant. Oh, great. This is good. I've been catching up on episodes and have been laughing at the one where you discuss friends owing you money. And this reminded me of a dilemma I once had. I have a really good friend group and we all moved to London August last year. As we know, London is expensive and starting out here can be tough, especially for one of my friends who was on a really low salary, to the point where she asked us to lend her money so she could pay rent. And we did. A few months passed and she hasn't offered to pay us back. Interesting. You've had a bit of this before, haven't you? Recently, I got upset and phoned her and asked her to send me my £200 back. To my surprise, she replied with, I can't, as I need it for the trip.
No, don't.
The cheeky bitch, it's getting more intense now, I like this. The cheeky bitch has taken our money, so 4 times 200, which is £800, and booked a holiday. I am fuming, and her only excuse was she's been so stressed by London she needed a trip away. Anyway, enjoy your inclusive trip in February, Izzy. I know you listen to this podcast.
This is savage.
And I'm blocking you until you send my money back.
I'll be honest.
What?
That's outrageous. And I think that's totally fair enough.
So she's blocked her and the only way she's going to find out is through listening to this podcast.
So Izzy,
send that fucking money back, Izzy.
I'll be honest.
Oh, so it's the Izzy who said listen to the podcast. It's the Izzy who's the fan of the...
So they've written in for us to solve this situation of money. I do think that is cheeky.
To borrow money from friends and then not pay them back and then go on holiday.
I have had it before where I think it was a sister asked for some money and then I rung her back like a couple of hours later and I said, what are you up to? She goes, I've just ordered a pizza and I'm getting my nails done. Sorry. I thought I was paying your phone bill, which I do think is super cheeky. And even with friends, I've noticed it. And then I see on their stories, they're in Harrods. And I'm like, like actually taking the piss.
In Harrods,
But some people have no shame. And you're like, I would be mortified if someone said...
I actually get really... If I ever owe anyone money, I hate it. I just want to...
it's awful.
I want to pay them back as quickly as possible because I just hate it. But yeah, that is very fucking cheeky, Izzy. I don't know what you thought was going to happen. Also, if you're going to go on holiday with sort of stolen money...
At least lie about it.
At least don't tell people.
Just say you're going on a week's therapy trip or something.
Or don't post it on your Instagram or something. That is... Yeah, I don't know what to suggest there. I mean, it sounds like you've already blocked her as a friend, so...
But it is, you know what, it is interesting because I think some people morally don't think that way. Like they don't...
See it as a big
They
deal.
don't see it as or a priority. I don't think they think that if their friends have got money, they won't ever need it. But I mean, my mum always said to me, never lend money unless you're actually happy to say goodbye to it, because realistically, it might not ever come back.
Are you one of those people who, like, if someone owes you money,
I wouldn't chase them, no.
You wouldn't chase them, you just let it hang?
Yeah, well, actually, it depends on the person, if I'm totally honest. If it's someone I know who's very generous with me, I would leave it. If it's someone who I know is tight as fuck, I would deliberately do it just to prove a point.
Yeah, okay.
Like, really to that.
Has that happened before with friendships where have you fallen out over money?
No, I've never fallen out over money. I've lent money and then thought about afterwards thinking, ugh, that's a bit annoying. I can't really say their name, but no, I
think I know who you mean.
Yeah, but I remember once, I don't know why this, but if say someone bought me a coffee, I would never in my say I bought someone a coffee, I'd never in my wildest dreams expect them to pay that back. Like, it's a coffee.
If I like paid for you to have a coffee after this and then texted you later
for your bank details. But I mean,
you send me £3.50?
There's something odd in that though.
You'd think I was a psycho, yeah.
I think it was a bit odd.
Yeah. But some people are like that though.
One of my sisters, cheeky bitch, I bought her a pack of cigarettes. Honest to God, tried to pay me back in pound coins. And I thought, you know what? Keep your fucking change.
Give
me those cigarettes back.
Keep your fucking drug money. I don't want it anywhere near
But
me.
money, it's weird though, because it's such a...
But £800 is enough that it's okay to chase, isn't it? That's enough.
Definitely. And I also think now, because everything is so fucking expensive, But money is such a weird one. It's like in relationships, like it's such a weird topic to have to talk about, and for some reason, it's the most uncomfortable topic. I think it's more awkward to talk about money than like exes.
Yeah, you're right.
Like you don't, and you can't ever say to someone like, "How much do you earn?"
We don't in England. We just don't. I don't know if they do in other countries, but we definitely don't here, do we? We never talk about money. Like,
and if you do talk about money, you probably shouldn't.
Like if you go to like a party and someone's loudly talking about how much money they're earning, everyone just thinks that person's a prick.
Absolute twat.
Yeah.
I used to get, well, not used to get it, but like with some of the people who do influencing, me and one of the girls would always joke with each other about people would always lie about what they were getting paid by brands.
What, they'd always exaggerate it?
Way exaggerate it.
Yeah.
And then you'd hear the company's like gone bust or something. You're like, well, that's a fucking lie. I used to find it really funny.
Yeah.
Actually,
I had it, I don't know if I could say this. It is quite funny, but I have a friend who's like really, really like flashy, like talks about money all the time. Very like in your face, like expensive. He's always like, yeah, I'm going on holiday. Anyway, we went for a beer the other day and he was like, I'll get this. And then he went to pay and the woman behind the thing was like, oh, it says insufficient funds. And I just saw him like fucking panic. And he was like, what? Weird, that's weird. Why did you say that? And I was like, do you want me to get it? He was like, no, I've got another. It's fine. I've got another card. It's just, I think the woman behind the till had like heard our conversation, was like, I'm going to deliberately embarrass you.
I actually really rate that. Yeah. I think fair play. That's almost
she
like
could have said, oh, it's not worked. But she went, it says insufficient funds.
I think that's great.
And I loved how he'd immediately like panicked. It is always the people who like bang on about how much money they have that never have any money though, isn't it?
But that's the same as like these people who buy expensive things like flashy cars and like all the designer
Yeah, I
clothes.
don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
No.
It makes me trust you less when
that's
I see.
That's why you should buy fakes.
Yeah.
Like me.
Or just like don't buy it. I was going to say don't buy anything, but that's too extreme. All of the wealthiest people I know look the least wealthy, if that makes sense.
Well, that's what they say, isn't it? And that's like...
Yeah.
But then also the wealthiest people are sometimes the tightest people.
Yeah.
The rich stay rich for a reason.
So maybe Izzy in this story is actually really wealthy and she's just tight. So Izzy, listen, I don't know what to say because we love the fact that you love the podcast. So don't stop listening to the podcast. But maybe think
when
about...
you can.
Or
acknowledge the message and say you understand that you are aware you do need to pay them back and you're sorry that you haven't so far.
Or just don't bang on about your holiday. Just do it in secret.
Yeah, put that on close friends and actually take your close friends off that.
Do you want to read the next one?
Sure. I had just met my boyfriend's mum for the first time at our house and it was going so well. We really got along and I was so relieved knowing the hardest part was over. Until she told us her new boyfriend was coming over, which was a shock to my boyfriend who didn't know his mum was dating anyone. Turns out her new boyfriend was not only our age, but my old fuck buddy.
Oh my God.
My boyfriend didn't know and neither did his mum. It was so awkward, neither of them know it to this day. Sorry? So the girl has gone to, so it's Olivia's gone to your house to meet your mum.
Yeah.
And your mum's new boyfriend's coming over, and Olivia used to sleep with him.
Oh, right. Interesting.
That's niche.
We've talked about this before, haven't we? With like relationships. Should you tell your new partner that you've slept with someone they know? We've talked about this before.
I think
like if you had
this is a slightly different situation. Like
this is different, yeah. But it's more of a general discussion around like, do you have to have that complete level of honesty, or are there some things you should keep to yourself?
I think on this occasion, because I could see you probably all going to be sitting down having supper together, it would be a little odd if you didn't. But I don't think you announce it at the table.
No.
I think you take this one side going, listen, I actually do know them. You have to.
Yeah, you
surely.
don't stay over dinner, do you?
I couldn't sit there with, say, my parents worked together with Rory and my father's new girlfriend, and they're both having banged her.
Yeah.
It would be mortifying. Like, you couldn't have that.
Sounds fairly normal for your family, though,
How
to be honest.
dare you? You have this root about my family.
I think you got to say something.
You have to.
Yeah, I think you got to say something.
If it's because
you just got to pick the right moment to say something.
And to be totally honest, it's probably not quite the right moment.
No.
I realised, when everyone goes, oh, it's not the right moment, there never is a right moment for certain, like for things. It's like when you need to call someone out for their shit, when do you find the right time? Because whenever the right time seems to be there, they end up going through problems. Like whenever I've wanted to say something to someone.
To me?
No, not to you. Well, now that you mention it. No, like if someone's behaved badly, you want to call them out, but then for some reason timing works the way it works, and that person's either going through a rough time, and you can't then kick a dog when it's down. Do you know what I mean? It's really hard. There's like never a right time for anything.
Do you not find it quite like when someone is really direct with you though, it sort of makes you like them more? Weirdly.
Yeah.
It makes them respect you. You respect them more when they do that.
100%.
If they say to you like, look, I don't want to make a big deal about it, but that when you did that, I thought that was a bit of shit, and I didn't like that. In a weird way, you sort of like that person more.
No, I completely agree. I much prefer it to be like. I think people appreciate honesty, but it's so hard because it's like it's a hard thing to do to be
honest.
Because also I'm very conscious of hurting someone's feelings, so I'm like try and be more careful. But actually, sometimes you've got to be more brutal and
direct.
upfront. Yeah.
I agree. I
think you save yourself in the long run.
I agree.
Because I'm quite good at umming and ahhing over things. Like I'll say, oh yeah, I'll do that, or I'll do this, and then really I don't want to do it. But I just
be more decisive.
Yeah. But no, okay, in this situation, because I know with certain things, unless you're going to bump into that person all the time, I don't think you necessarily need to divulge every single person you've been with, or like. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's someone you're physically hanging out with, out of pure respect for the person you're with, you have to say, listen.
My old fuck buddy is quite an intense phrase as well. That makes it sound like it was going on for quite a while.
But also don't use that terminology when you tell the mum. Just say, it's just my fuck buddy. Like, you use
don't
that
say
one.
that. Don't say fuck buddy. That's not going to go down very well. That is wild though. That is wild.
What are the chances of that though?
I was going to say, has anything like that ever happened to you? But I don't know how that could have happened.
What, like someone? No, and there's never been like a sort of not crossover, because you hear about sort of siblings having slept with the same people. No, thank God.
That's never happened.
No, just with Eddie.
You and one of your sisters have never fought over a man.
No. Luckily, we all have, but I admit,
you all have very different tastes.
Yeah, very different types. Yeah.
That's good. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Let me read the next one. Hi guys, I bought my boyfriend a surprise holiday for his 40th birthday. But he dumped me, in brackets, by text, just before we were due to go. So I took my mum instead and spent the whole weekend in the most romantic hotel, drinking wine in the room, refusing to go out, and ending up with a room service bill of nearly £300. A rather tragic conversation with the hotel staff as to why it was my mum with me and not the man on the reservation added insult to injury. This has happened actually to me before.
What?
My last relationship, we had a holiday booked, a really, really nice holiday to Tuscany, and we broke up and everything was booked. Everything was
Did either one of you go?
The reason we were going to Tuscany was from one of my friend's weddings that happened to be in Tuscany that week.
Right.
And then we were going to stay for a week after the wedding. So when we broke up, I was like, well, I'm still going to go to my friend's wedding, but I've booked this hotel and it's all paid for and it can't be refunded. So I ended up taking a friend of mine, like a male friend of mine, to this really romantic hotel in Tuscany that I was meant to go to with my girlfriend, and just spent the whole week being like, oh, this would have been really nice if I'd still been in a relationship, wouldn't it? Staying in this like amazing hotel in Italian countryside. Yeah, so that has actually happened to me.
So I was just trying to think, well, that's kind of different because you were actually going for a reason, as in for a wedding.
For a wedding, yeah.
But I'm trying to work out if I would still want to go.
Yeah.
If it was something I'd organised to do with them.
I would, to be fair, I wouldn't have gone if it hadn't been a wedding and...
But then it's such a waste of money.
And the hotel was like non-refundable. So it's like, well, I may as well go because I'm not going to get the money back.
Yeah.
If it was like, I'll cancel it and I'll get the money back.
I think hotels should offer sort of like emotional...
support
refunds,
but then everybody would do that, wouldn't they?
My boyfriend's bailed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have you ever gone on a trip when you were meant to go in a romantic sense?
No.
No,
I haven't actually.
There's something a bit like what
I've
I did.
normally broken up with them on the way back from the trip.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Have you? This is interesting. Have you ever been on a holiday with a boyfriend
And broken up?
No. Have you ever like halfway through a holiday decided you're going to break up with them and then had to like pretend the rest of the holiday?
No.
Because if you're breaking up on the way back, surely you've made that decision a few days earlier.
I did do that with an ex of mine on Made in Chelsea. We went out there happy as Larry, came back on separate flights.
Yeah.
It was awful, actually.
Yeah, that is
But I mean, I
awful.
suppose it was being filmed, so it was even worse. But the problem, actually, this was awful. It was Digby, who was super sweet. He was really sweet. We just, it was just like young love. And we were filming in Croatia. Anyway, it was the final day, and we were filming on an island, like a remote island. It was like a pool party thing. And ours was the first scene, and I knew it was coming, and I was like, "Oh God, I have to do it." And it was.
What, you knew you had to break up?
Yeah,
with
I
him?
knew I was about to break up with him
Yeah.
because I think I was a bit of a twat back then. Anyway, we did the whole scene, broke up, and he was like crying. I was crying. It was awful. Anyway, they forgot they didn't get any pretties of us arriving at the island. So we had to get back on a speedboat and hold hands. It's making me, giving me shivers thinking about it now.
Wow.
Get back onto this speedboat and hold hands for an hour and a half, pretending we were happy arriving to the party. It was, when I say the pits, I had sunglasses on, so did he, bawling our eyes out.
Oh
It was,
my God.
I could have murdered the director. I thought
you
it was
imagine?
a joke. I was like, you're joking.
That's so funny.
On a tiny speedboat, it was shocking. It was that was enough to scar both of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so that's my only
That's so funny that you had
incident
to do
where
that.
it was awful,
Fucking
horrible.
hell. You imagine that being that producer has to go up to you and go, sorry
I was
guys,
like,
we need some
Huge favour.
we need some shots of you arriving looking happy.
Oh, it was awful.
That's so funny.
Actually, that stuff slightly haunts me. Anyway, no.
But the idea of like what I was going to say is what I did where I took a friend feels less tragic than taking your mum. There's something about being there with your mum that makes you feel like more of a failure.
I think that's a guy thing because I wouldn't mind going with my mum. I would take my mum as like a really nice, wholesome time, spend time together. You know what, actually, instead of doing family holidays, I think what is quite nice is spending time, if your parents are together or not, but just spending one-on-one time with your parents.
Yeah.
It's nice. I don't do it enough.
It is quite nice to do that. I haven't done that for a while. Maybe I should take my mum away. Last time I took my mum away, people thought we were a couple. Like everywhere, in restaurants and hotels, they just thought we were together. I don't know if I look older or she looks younger, but people just
Or you're just like her toy boy.
assumed that we were together. Like, we got upgraded to the honeymoon suite.
See, weirdly, for a boy, you can get away with that.
Roses on the bed when we arrived.
But if I did that with my dad, people would think I was like either some gold digger.
No, I think it would be more likely for you and your dad, because a lot of the time you see older men with younger girlfriends.
No, listen, not anymore. It's becoming the new thing, isn't
You
it?
don't normally see younger men with older women.
You sort of do now.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
but yeah, no.
I think if you and your dad went to stay in a hotel, a lot of people would be like, oh, he's had a midlife crisis.
Really, the thought of sharing a room with my father seems rather unnatural.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But that is quite common, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a man who's clearly on his like third marriage.
Some young.
So I don't know what the advice is there.
I don't think you should look at it as tragic. I think it's quite sweet.
Try and think of it in a positive. Try and spin it into something positive. You had a
I
nice
think what's
break.
more questionable is that your boyfriend, for his 40th, dumped you by text. That's slightly pathetic.
Yeah.
At that age, really?
Yeah, at least do a Zoom call or something.
That's another thing I've realised actually. Another thing I'm not going to do is pussy out of things by sending text messages and emails. Is actually ringing people. You know, if you've got to let someone down, just do it properly. Like I had to do it the other day with something, and I ended up actually seeing this guy face to face.
Yeah.
And I felt so much better for doing it that way.
What?
And actually doing something face to face
Way
is a
better.
lot better.
Yeah, way better.
I think everyone thinks the easy way out is to send text messages and emails, but it really isn't.
No.
But I don't know why we've all become like that.
If somebody was to like bail on a dinner that you'd organised, if they were to like call you and say it over the phone, would you be less pissed off?
Yeah, I would, than just a text. Because with a text, you don't know the tone.
Yeah.
And also, if something else has actually come up that's quite important, I don't know. I think the way forward we should all be much more.
I would respect someone if they actually rang me.
Yeah,
'Cause I'd
I
be
would as
like,
well.
that takes courage
Balls.
to do that. Yeah.
You actually show that you do have balls by doing that, rather than sending some sloppy message, I can't come, mate.
I agree.
think.
I like that.
We've come up with a few New Year's resolutions in this episode.
Do you want to do the last one?
I stayed for a week with my boyfriend's family abroad in their family home. Is this from Rory? No, joking.
And her family were a fucking nightmare.
I stayed for a week with my boyfriend's family abroad in their family home, and everything I suggested to do or any ideas I had were being picked apart and mocked and then ignored. My boyfriend didn't stick up for me and almost joined in, and I ended up having a huge row with him about it, and we didn't speak for the rest of the holiday. What should I do? That's really awkward, especially when you're the one who's on their family holiday. I would be annoyed, to be honest.
I think when you're like a guest in your boyfriend or girlfriend's family house, they have to like make a real effort to make you feel comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can feel quite like out of the loop with everything.
And when you're like not there on your sort of own terms, it's really
Yeah.
awkward. But there's nothing worse than having a row
On
a family holiday, or like a row around family.
yeah, because everyone knows it's happened.
Yeah, or no, trying to hide the fact you've had a row and you're
Yeah.
sitting there pretending everything's fine when you know it's not.
Yeah, yeah. Also, if you're trapped in like a different country, that is tense. That is really tense.
And also,
I don't think I'm very good at hiding if I've had an argument. I think I'm quite easy to read. You know. Do you think if you've had a row with someone, you can hide it?
I become a bit cunty and just like try and fuck with them because I'm a dick. So I'll just be like,
Yeah.
I'll just sort of short. But
Yeah.
no, I try.
So the answer is no. You can't hide it.
No, not really.
No.
I'm arguing actually makes me feel really uncomfortable. Like I quite like to hash it out. Let's just scream at each other for 5 minutes and then we're out. It's out of the way. But I don't think guys aren't like that. Girls are more hot-headed than guys are more like.
I would actually argue that a healthy relationship, you do have argument. Like you.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
know, I
healthy to
agree.
like have big bust-ups.
Huge bust ups.
I think it's healthy
decking each
to
other.
have physical confrontations. No, but I actually feel like in a healthy relationship where you both care
because it
about
just,
the relationship,
But then
you do argue.
Yeah, because you
If
care
you don't
enough to
care,
vocalize
then
it.
you're just not bothered.
Yeah.
That's worse.
No, I think it is as well. But I also think it's good to be able to actually talk about it and not, because this is what I used to do, the screaming and shouting thing and the stomping off.
You like a stomp off.
Oh yeah, it's like them fucking leaving a group. But no, I actually have never done that. I don't learn myself to that level. But no, actually with Rory.
Where will you
Rory
stomp off
doesn't-
to? Just a different
Just to
room.
have a fag. Just
Oh,
like-
outside. Yeah, just chain smoking
That's
on
my
the roof.
excuse for everything, and it drives people mad. I need a cigarette. Yeah, Rory's actually very good at
Confrontation.
not confident. He's no, just talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't know from Chelsea. Well, Chelsea, you're more like it's not.
I think it's good. I
confrontational.
think it is good to be like
But having
something's
conversations you
annoying-
don't wanna
If
have.
something's annoying you in a relationship, I think it's good to vocalize it. And
Yeah.
not, like let it get
Brew.
worse.
Because that's what I used to do. I'd let it fester, have
Yeah.
a couple drinks.
Then it will
hello.
come out.
Then
Then the
neighbours are
fucking
calling the police.
shaking the cage. My mum used to do this really funny thing when we were growing up, where whenever her and my dad would fight and have an argument, she'd always go to the garden centre to like cool off. She'd always leave the house, and we'd be like, "Oh, has mum gone to the garden centre?" Then she'd come back like 3 hours later. But whenever she was really angry, she'd just drive off and always go and sit in the garden centre.
That's
her
probably
sort
a
of,
good
like,
idea. It's probably quite therapeutic sitting amongst the plants.
She once left one of our family holidays and went home. Because
Really?
she was so angry with my dad. She just flew home. We had the rest of the week just with our dad. Yeah. Quite traumatic, actually,
That
when
is
I
sad.
think
Yeah,
about
I
it.
mean that's.
Okay, listen, Liv, it's great to have... Sorry, Olivia.
Don't treat me like one of your guests, Tom. It's great to be back, and
Olivia Ketterman Bentley. No, I was going to say something sweet about how it's nice to have you back. But I don't have to say it if you don't give a fuck
I
about
do
it.
give a fuck.
It's nice to have you back.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's a nice sort of,
Happy energy.
fresh energy. I like it. Next week is Valentine's special.
Which we know is overrated. So what we've decided to do is do a thrilling episode of Valentine's Day. We'll send your body Jomo.
Yeah.
Put this on.
Yeah.
Slip that in.
Do you think anyone has sex to this podcast?
I do. No, I'm joking.
Wow.
That's
on that bombshell. Do people have sex to podcasts?
No, but can I tell you something? No, but what's that called? Audio erotica is a huge thing.
ASMR.
That's more. Isn't that people eating, but you hear them?
Like people like unwrapping things and
all that stuff irritates me. It's like
that turned me on. Just that. There.
The one that gets me, and this winds me up. It's influencers doing their makeup routines. What is that?
Yeah, they do.
Just
do
annoying.
That,
Tapping your nails.
Tapping products. Yeah. If you do have sex to this podcast, please let us know because I'd be interested.
Please send your videos into the YouTube. No,
even if you've just like accidentally left it on in the background, I'd be curious to know. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
I don't think I'd like to hear my own voice, to be honest. I'm not sure I could I would tune into this.
That's where we differ. I can only have sex when my voice is playing in the background.
You are unhinged.
We will see you next week.
And don't forget to send us in your unpopular opinions.
Contact at privatepartspodcast.com, at private podcasts on all the socials. See you next week. Bye.